Welcome back to our Power Breakfast interview. To conclude this week, Friday, we made it a little younger than usual, and this is going to be our tradition on Fridays. And why Friday? Because this is the day that young people step out, and young people are out engaging in discourse. So today, we're favored to have somebody who should be an inspiration to many young people seeking political leadership. I'm talking about the Senator for Uasin Gishu District, Isaac Meli, barely 30, and perhaps together with the Nandi Governor, Nandi Senator, Sang, the youngest senators in the national, in Parliament. Karibu, Isaac, if I may use that word.
Thank you, Makali.
A lot of people obviously haven't heard about you,
Yes.
because you've not been very outspoken. Let me start with your journey to Senate.
Yes.
Give us a rough summary of the road to the Senate.
Thank you, Makali.
As in, who are you, for people who are seeing you for the first time?
I'll just be very brief to say that I finished high school 2002. 2003, 2004, I secured some employment in our university, now the University of Eldoret. Did some casual job for 3 years, where I used to earn 175 shillings per day.
Right.
Yeah, from there, I did my diploma in Kenya Institute of Management. Thereafter, I went to Mount Kenya University the first year. Second year, I contested and got elected as the president of the Student Council. And from then until 2011, 2012, I got elected as the first youngest elected senator in the Republic of Kenya.
When had you graduated from Mount Kenya University?
Yeah, I graduated the year 2011.
And straight away got into politics?
Yeah, after graduating, actually, this is my first job.
It is really interesting.
Is it
You
not
are
overwhelming?
Yeah.
From student leadership to Senate?
I think basically student leadership, because I served for 2 years, not 1 year. I got elected for 2 consecutive terms. And let me say it was a platform for me, because people would think it was a small thing, but I learned some challenges dealing with the students. You know how sometimes rough they are,
Yes.
their demands sometimes. Again, working with the administration when students are making demands and the administration is saying, no, we cannot provide this. With time, I think the 2 years I was there gave me enough courage, experience to handle leadership. I actually don't feel overburdened in terms of now coordinating the issues for the county, representing my county as a senator.
Why did you choose to be senator, not MP?
One thing that I must confess is that when these issues came and people were saying will contest MP, governor, I saw an opportunity in the Senate. Almost all those guys who we were contesting together were over 60 years, 60, 70 years. So I was the only one who was younger.
Right.
And for a longer period of time, young people thought that they were being sidelined, that they were left in the leadership of the country. When they had rumors that the governor will be taken by an old man, somebody who is mature, MPs were already big people who had money. They were, of course, over 40 years. Then the young people said, no, this Senate, we must do something to ensure that we take it. It does happen like that.
It looks like your election was an uprising of the youth against the older generation.
Yeah, that is one of it. And because for a long time, young people felt that they were not in the leadership and nobody actually considered them. Yet, they form a bigger percentage in terms of population for the whole country. But for the Uasin Gishu, they said, this time, we must walk the talk. We will ensure that we have our own.
Let me say, whom did you defeat?
A number of them. Former assistant minister, who was also a member of parliament for Eldoret South, the larger Eldoret South, the Honorable Jesse Mais, former State House Controller Abraham Kiptanui, among others.
Yes.
Now, running for Senate is not a cheap thing.
Yes.
It's an expensive affair.
Of course it is.
Having no job at all, no income, how did you finance it?
One way, and I think I must communicate this, is because when the young people decide
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether we had money or not. Young people
But
from
you needed to transfer the county.
Of course, when
Even
we did,
vehicles,
young
agents.
men and women across the universities in Eldoret town, across the areas we come from, fundraise for me in different capacities. Even when I was not there,
Yes.
you could hear young people from Keses constituency are fundraising for the senator. The following morning, they will tell me, Senator, we have 100,000 for you to travel, transfer the county this week. Another week, young people gathered somewhere and said, Senator, welcome, this is what we've done, can you move? And it just happened like that, slowly. It was a network, and the young people sacrificed.
What was the role of the Deputy President, the Honorable Ruto, in that campaign?
I think I need to comment and say that a deputy president is a leader. And every other time people would tell him, we need this guy, he said, no, I don't elect people. I have my one vote. Let the people make the decision. Those who are elected, I welcome them, we serve together. That is what happened. He didn't actually say, I want this person to be elected, or I want this person to be elected. He just said, you are free to elect the people you think can represent you. Let them come, we serve you together. That's what happened.
Did he contribute towards your campaign?
Of course, after nomination and you saw under URP, I was facilitated, and it's from that time now that for the first time I had a vehicle to campaign. A vehicle allocated to me. Otherwise,
Before then you didn't have a
we didn't have vehicles.
Yes.
We used to borrow. Sometimes we don't have fuel. We could walk to universities by foot, by matatu, and we made it.
Let's say two things worked for you. First, because you had been working in Eldoret and had this association with the Eldoret University.
Yeah.
Were you chairman of the Mount Kenya University at the Nairobi campus or Eldoret campus?
Eldoret campus.
Yes,
of
that's
course.
so those factors sort of helped you to get.
That's where I built it up.
Your network.
Yes.
That, helped you to establish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what were the dynamics of campaigning? A lot of people, of course, getting in, as Mutegia said, without money. You really network and the campaign politics on the ground is about money. Yeah.
Thank you. One thing that I must say is when the young people make a decision, every other time they make decision, it is not about money. It is not about the big names we hear. The youths of Uasin Gishu County said, today we will not apply the big names to say because we know that person, he come from such a family. They said we want to produce our own. And they said we will work, it doesn't matter how many times we will try.
Yes.
But we are willing to try until we have somebody.
Yes.
Luckily enough, they tried, and here I am today. So it is possible without network.
Okay, that is, not always that the young people don't ask for money or they're not swayed by money. This particular one is, if you ask me, an exceptional case.
Yes.
I mean, there are many places where young people rise, but without money they don't move. Let me ask you, you have started into politics very early, so to speak. This is your first job. Politics, and for Senate, you are restricted to 2 terms. So what, you can only be a senator for 2 terms. That's the constitutional limit. What next in your political career or in your life as you start charting it out?
Thank you, Makale. I think the constitution is very clear. I think the one that is limited is the one for governor, that you just go for 2 terms. But for senator, this is under members of parliament. You can go for as many terms as you want. I'm not sure how many times I would go.
Yes.
But I want to say I'm sure that I'll not stay in Senate forever.
Yes.
Someday I'll move. And of course, moving means not going to contest for the member of National Assembly and the governor.
Yes.
I'll move forward.
You'll be
And you know where forward means.
where Ruto is and
of course, being my role model, and I'm following his footsteps. So that someday I'll be in that position.
right.
Now, in the Senate, you're not very vocal, unlike Murkomen.
Yeah.
And it looks to me as if you may fizzle out within time. You look like you are bored there in Parliament. Are you happy in the Senate?
Thank you, Mutegi. I think every other game, if you played sometimes, once a new player comes into the field, you cannot just start thinking that you know everything. You have to learn slowly the system, learn how things are done, so that the moment you embark on something, you are sure you will do something good. What I just want to say is it is not about being focal at the Senate or at the National Assembly.
Yeah.
Today, our re-election in 2017 will be determined by people who elected us, depending on whether we've satisfied or represented their interests, both at the National Assembly and at the Senate. What I'm doing today may not be done by another senator. Because I'm building, I want to make sure that Uasin Gishu County becomes the best place as I promise, so that as I move forward, I have my people represented well, they have gotten what actually they want from me, and I've built it up other young leaders, so that because I don't want to be a senator and have that gap to say that no, I need to step on others. I want them someday also to be leaders like me.
One is likely to, okay, of course, granted that when you start in a position like that, it takes time to wear the shoes and to get into the practice and to learn the ropes.
Yeah.
But what would you say you've accomplished in the last 1 year as senator for your Uasin Gishu?
Thank you.
In the national, in the Senate.
Thank you, Makali. I think our role, according to Constitution, is to represent the interests of the counties and their governments. Yeah. And that's why I'm at the Senate. Issues to do with the division of revenue bill, allocation of money to my county and to other counties, that is the role specifically given to me by the Constitution. Yeah. There are other things a leader would do. There are other programs I initiated when I was a student leader in the university that they are not in the Constitution. One, for example, I'm now running a big foundation. We are sponsoring 25 children who are total orphans. The reason why we started this program is because, like my case, I didn't have enough money to go to the university. A number of times people fundraise for me. Yeah. So that was my own initiative. And just the other day, Wednesday, we've raised to increase the number of students from 25 to 200. We actually raised over 10 million shillings last evening to ensure that we give up to some young people who would not have otherwise access education. So those are the things that I think they are not in the Constitution, but it is in my leadership, of course, what I promise to the people. Yeah. Not basically on the Senate. My role is to represent the county of Uasin Gishu. But the other things, as a leader, you know you must do to ensure that you remain relevant, and two, to ensure that you actually satisfy what the people thought that you will do for them as you represent them.
The relationship between the senators and the governors sometimes becomes not very nice.
Yes.
And it's shown by the impeachment of the governor in Embu.
Wambora.
And do not know what your relationship is with your governor generally and with the general county government.
Thank you, Mutegi. One thing that I must say is, as the people of Uasin Gishu County, as leaders, we decided that we will not engage in fighting. We have enough money to run the functions of the county. My functions is very clear in the Constitution. The functions of the governor is very clear in the Constitution, and also for the members of parliament. Challenges are always there. This is a new system. For the first time, we are in a new constitution where we have devolution, which has so many challenges, but we chose to be one, so that at the end of the day, we can deliver on what we promise our people, so that we remain clear, because we know this is politics. After 5 years, we'll be jobless, and we'll again need to go and ask the people to give us the votes. So if we cannot give that, if we cannot satisfy what people want from us, then we may not actually make it again to 2017. Yeah. But we are working together to ensure that we deliver on that promise. So we chose to work together.
Eldoret town is a very unique town.
Very unique,
It is one of these municipalities or big towns that have no constituency.
Yes.
It is split into smithereens by other Eldorets. Do you foresee Eldoret town having its own constituency, like Nyeri, Kisumu, Mombasa? Why is it Eldoret so unique like that?
That decision, of course, a number of times when the IEBC came to Eldoret on the issues of dividing the larger constituencies into now the constituencies we have, because we have 6 constituencies now from the larger 3 constituencies that used to be there before. It was the decision of the people of Uasin Gishu County that every constituency should touch the town. They have their own reasons, and we respect them as leaders because we represent them. Once they say, this is what we want, we'll always stand by there. And it is so beneficial to us and to them, so that in case there is anything to be shared in town, each constituency has its own share. So that's what the decision of the people of...
I mean, that town, as Mutegi says, also has a lot of problems. Traversing Eldoret is impossible at the moment. I mean, you know the governor, of course.
Yeah.
But these are issues, I'm sure, that concerning... is there a plan, is there anything ongoing to decongest that town to ensure traffic flows?
Yeah.
There was a bypass plan. Is there anything going on to make that work?
Thank you. They are now doing two bypass, the southern bypass and the northern bypass. They are already done they've already allocated money to the southern bypass. That one will open towards the airport, Mailitis, and then all the way to Kitale. Right. The second one now will be the northern one. So we are sure when we will be done with the first one, the northern bypass, to some percentage, Eldoret town will be open. Because we also agree as leaders that indeed there is a great challenge when it comes to congestion in town, issues of traffic. But I'm sure that one will be done. The northern bypass will be done. Money has already been allocated, and we thank the government for that. The only one we are working on is now the northern bypass. Yes, which I'm sure will come on by next year. Yeah.
People, of course, you have some supporters who say congratulations, you're doing a great job. But somebody else says that Diego from Eldoret says forget Senate in 2017. Of course, there will always be people like that. But somebody asked, what has the senator done to ensure the youth who elected him do not regret what they did? We don't hear him in Parliament and in Uasin Gishu County. Does he know where Kimoning is in Uasin Gishu County? Looks like you are not being felt everywhere. How is the work? Is the county too big?
I think for the first time, this is not a constituency.
Yes.
This is a county, and I represent around 6 constituencies. Of course, with a population of over 1 million people. I may not be felt everywhere because I may not be able to go to every village. But I have a program, at least every weekend I must be there. Saturday, Sunday, I must be there so that we engage. They ask me questions.
What do you mean be there? Means you have an office?
Yeah, of course I have an office. I have a running office every Monday. Every Monday from 7 in the morning to 6 in the evening, I see people across the county from the 6 constituencies coming to my office. And the rest of the days I'll be in Nairobi to coordinate other things. So actually it's with time. With time I'm sure we'll be everywhere. Yes.
But there's a bit of that about people saying, they have not seen you. They are honestly surprised that you are the senator, that they have never seen you since the election and so forth. Obviously, those are things you probably will deal with and happens with every leader. Let's get back to the Senate's functioning. There is the crux of the matter. Your voice is not yet loud, although you say you have taken time to learn the ropes. Are there no issues that you have felt strongly you needed to articulate? Have you got any particular motion to the Senate?
Let me say, apart from the 6 bills from the Senate, one of the bills come from the senator for Uasin Gishu County. I think it's here to be published.
What is that bill
the
about?
Bill is called Agricultural Input Support Bill 2013.
Right.
That bill seeks to compel the government to subsidize fertilizer, to subsidize seeds, and even provide insurance for the maize and the wheat and all these agricultural produce we produce, so that the farmer can produce maximum, both for food security and also to make money. So among the 6 bills, you will find, if you go to the answer, you will find that one of the bills come from the Uasin Gishu County Senator. I'm not sure because my setup would be different.
Yes.
There are some things I think I don't give it too much weight in terms of which motion.
Discussion on the floor of the
House.
and
I have, it is my decision to say whether I support this motion or not. But if you go to the answer, you will know the number of times Uasin Gishu Senator has spoken, and a good number of times. So maybe there are still other things.
What committee are you on in the Senate? Which committee?
I'm in the Committee of Agriculture
and
Lands. Yes.
Those two committees alone?
Yeah.
All right.
Those two committees.
How have you found, there's a lot of conflict, as Mutegi asked earlier on, between the Senate and the National Assembly.
Yeah.
There has been issues of, some friction about the allocations and what people see as an attempt by National Assembly members to have a pie
Yeah.
in the function of impeachment of governors. You have seen there's a move that, there's a motion to change the requirements or the threshold for impeaching governors, which is being moved.
Yeah.
Definitely, National Assembly wants to have a say in the impeachment of governors. What is your opinion on that?
Thank you, Makali. One thing that I must say, let me reflect on the ruling by the Supreme Court last year.
Yes.
On whether the Senate has a say on division of revenue bill.
Yes.
Actually, division of revenue bill is dividing the revenue between the national government and the county government. It was ruled, and it is very clear that the Senate had a role.
Yes.
So that is one thing. Secondly, the Constitution is very clear. To give powers to the Senate to divide the revenue and also to allocate the revenue now, the divided revenue, to be allocated to the counties.
Yes.
For example, last year we disagreed with the National Assembly in terms of how much the county should receive.
Yes.
Ours was 248 billion. Them, they proposed 210. So there were those issues, but I think that after the ruling, it is very clear. The issues of National Assembly saying they want to participate in impeaching the governors, I think I will not comment much, but what I want to say is this. It is very clear who has the final say when it comes to impeaching the governor.
Yes.
And it is clear, the issue of Wambora has come in, the issue of Paul Chepkoech, Kericho County Governor, is also coming in today to the Senate.
Yes.
So we also want to avoid issues where people think that we are fighting. We are not. What we are just saying is, let's do what the Constitution tells us to do.
Do you consider you are doing, as a senator in Uasin Gishu, you are providing sufficient oversight over the county government by Mandago? Because there is a point, and somebody says that one accuses you of being a Ruto sycophant. You are a henchman of Ruto, so they don't expect critical appraisal from you of the deputy president. And two, you are in bed with Mandago, the governor. So your oversight of the county and the functioning of the county government is zero.
Thank you, Makali. I think working together is not being a sycophant.
Yes.
I chose to work together with the governor. Of course, having in mind that the governor has to do this and this. And it's everywhere, it's known.
Yes.
Already the money that has been allocated to the Uasin Gishu County government,
Yes.
we are monitoring. We have the mechanisms to monitor and ensure that the money we allocate to Road A,
Yes.
the Road A will be done to the satisfaction of everybody. And this government got elected in the Jubilee government, which is, of course, party leader being the deputy president. If working with the deputy president does not amount to being a sycophant,
Yes.
it is working for the good of the county.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me this about the politics of the counties and the money issues.
Yes.
The other day I saw that the Treasury has allocated money to women representatives,
Yes.
which will be put in the Constituency Development Fund, specifically intended for women representatives to manage.
Yes.
A number of counties, I don't know whether this is happening in your county, MCAs are asking for what development funds.
Yes.
And in some counties, I think they have given, like Nairobi. A lot of people, including the Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution, do not support that move.
Yeah.
Probably even you, at one time, senators will also be wanting your own money so that you can be seen to also develop the county.
Yes.
What is your view about those issues?
Thank you, Mutegi. One thing is when it comes to issues of money, I think the Constitution is very clear. That is an executive role. That is why we have the senator and we have the governor. The senator to legislate and do all those things according to the Constitution. The governor is to execute. Of course, with the CECs in charge of the departments. And it is very clear. I just don't want to say we are going to snide the MPs, the CDF,
Yes.
but actually,
But that's
in,
what-
in
that's
due
what
course,
needs to
in
happen.
due course, I think we will want the executive to do its role, and we want a parliament, both the county assembly, the Senate and the National Assembly, to do their functions of making the law, so that it is very clear. I don't think senators will go to a point of asking for
A fund.
for a fund.
Aren't you
We
under
will-
pressure, looking at what people expect from you after you campaign? In fact, some of the questions which are coming in,
Yeah.
when will you reconstruct, when you construct Eldoret Ziwa Road, when will that road leading to Kipkabus Plateau be tarmacked? All these questions are coming to you. And I'm sure when you are campaigning, you made some pledges about how these roads will get fixed. How are
And
you
you have no
addressing?
means of doing it yourself.
Yes, how are you
because you are
addressing the
senator.
pressure?
Okay,
what is the
it-
pressure of leadership?
it is
and
very
perception
clear.
in this
It's
country?
very clear, Makali. The first time we
Yes.
got elected and we were asked,
Yes.
in fact, I agree with you. Sometimes I was asked, now that the member of parliament is going to construct some 2 classes,
Yes.
the governor is going to drill some boards.
Yes, you.
Senator, what are you going to do for us?
Yeah.
And I think we've tried to explain to them. And I told them, the money allocated to Uasin Gishu County, for example, we are likely to receive now 4.6 billion.
Right.
I'm the one doing it.
Yes.
So I'm the one bringing all this money. Governor is the one to implement. And in every project, I must be there to tell the people from the last financial year, this is the much we brought
Right, right.
to be executed in this road, A, road B, hospital, ECD, schools, this and this. And you explain to people that my role is to bring this money, but I cannot allocate. The governor is here. So I think that is the way to go, because if we'll start saying we want our own fund, I think that's not the right direction for this country.
Yeah. But the pressure is there from the people.
Of course, the pressure is there.
You don't have money.
Yes.
Or you have bags of money, you are going to these events and invitations.
No,
of
for
this
example,
demand. How are you
in
handling this
every
demand?
project we launch,
Yes.
when the governor is there, the senator is there.
Yeah.
I will
But
speak.
outside the official functions or the official expenditure
Yeah.
that is allocated from the budget,
Yeah.
the politician you are, the leader you are, will always get the pressure and demands from people. This road, this and that. How are you dealing
Or
with
even personal demands, like
That's what I'm
somebody does have school fees.
Oh,
Yeah.
No problem, because
Obviously,
being
when you
elected.
have money. We
yeah.
are speaking from generally from the perspective of a youthful leader
Yeah.
who is in office, and the country is used to leaders with money,
Yeah.
handouts,
Yes.
attending events, problem solving. How are you handling that pressure?
Of course, using the first strategy, that this year I was able to bring this much to
Yes.
this county, let's say 4.6 billion. People will acknowledge that. The second thing, the other issues, being a leader, you must do. People will wake up in the morning and tell you, Makali, somebody is sick. We need 100,000. We've learned to manage.
Yes.
Despite our age and our being new to the
Can you
system.
tell us how we do it?
How are you
That's-
managing? Because it's all about the money. That's why other
You have no
leaders should
income
borrow
except
from
the
you.
salary from-
How are
Exactly.
you surviving?
Exactly. Let me
How do you
say,
survive?
let me say, leadership is about sacrifice.
Yeah.
In as far as you don't have any fund you are running,
Yes.
you must be willing to sacrifice. The time that you went and asked for votes, telling people, please, I'm the right candidate, I can do this and this and this. Of course, you must be ready and willing to sacrifice from your own sources. For example, what I did last year
Yeah.
is to make sure that we capitalize on the foundation.
Yes.
And as I said earlier, from July this year, we'll be sponsoring 200 orphans in Uasin Gishu County through my fund.
Yes.
So it's possible. You see, this is leadership. You must learn on how you can survive on your own.
Mobilize the resources.
Apart
But,
from actually taking
direct.
this money, because people may not listen well, because the governor is also there to say we have this money.
Yeah.
They may think you are actually not the one.
Yeah.
But you must find your own ways
How do you get your-
on how to
how do you
survive.
get funding for your foundation?
One thing, we did one fundraising, but we said we will not be fundraising. We want to make this thing sustainable.
Yes.
We are working with a number of ambassadors.
Yes.
For example, the government of Slovakia and the Netherlands. We are working on those programs. They have programs for the orphans, and I think from next year, the
Yes.
foundation will be stable and will not be asking for other things. And we have a board that is running. Mine is just, again, oversight. I didn't want, again, to play an executive role. I just want to know whether things are going on well, whether we have money to run the program, whether to increase the number of students from 200 maybe now to 300 or 400. Those are the things we are doing so that we remain relevant.
You have told us on Mondays, you sit from morning to evening,
Yes.
listening to the your people
In
maybe
county
make-
headquarters.
at the headquarters in Eldoret.
Yeah.
What kind of challenges do they come with? What kind of problems do they come bringing to you?
Thank you. One thing that there's still some gray areas is people used to know members of parliament.
Yes.
And they also know a senator, of course, to be a member of parliament. So they will bring those issues that we've already said, issues of the roads, issues of the hospitals. But we explained to them, we told them, of course, I have the program for the county government. The county government, with this March, we have 3.5 billion. We've allocated 1 billion to roads. This road A, B, C, D, and E will be done this time. This time, they are satisfied.
Yeah.
They will ask about hospitals. I'll also have that program to tell them this is what we've done. At least we've managed to an extent.
Yeah. Talking
At
about
least
that, the road to the
80%.
Eldoret Hospital is already being raised. It's in pathetic condition. Is it listed for people who are watching you? Is it among the roads due for fixing, or are you not? Are you aware of if it is?
Okay, let me say that road has already been, there is some progress in terms of making sure that it is done.
Yeah.
We've already talked,
Yeah.
and this is not the first time you're asking me. A number of people have been asking us, what
Yes.
do we do? Okay, I'm not the one to do it.
Yes, yes. But are you aware whether it's going to be fixed? Of course, you don't.
I'm very much aware that
Yeah.
it's going to be fixed.
Yeah.
I'm very much aware because we work on a program with the governor that is one.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, apparently, you seem to be working very closely with the governor. I mean, this is not common with other counties, I would say.
Yeah.
You even seem to have command of what budget is allocated to which particular project.
Exactly.
Do you sit with the governor? Do you participate? Because these are functions of the county assembly.
Yeah.
Budgeting, allocation of the revenue.
Yeah.
What role are you playing? Where do you interact? How do you work with the governor?
Oh,
or the
okay.
county government?
The first time we got elected, we said we must work as a team. We form a team that comprises of members of parliament, basically National Assembly, the senator, the women member of parliament, the governor and the deputy governor,
Yes.
to strategize. Because as we talk today, Makali, we have roads in, for example, my constituency, Soy constituency.
Yes.
We have around 5 roads that have been allocated by the CDF to be done. The same roads again could be allocated money by the county government. So that's why we decided to come together and say, so that if the governor does road A,
Yes.
member of parliament through CDF will do road B.
Okay.
So through that program, we've harmonized so that we ensure that we capitalize on the money both from the CDF and from the county government to ensure that within a short time we have done a good job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We're coming to an end. Perhaps just you are working among many old men and veterans of elections,
Yeah.
elective politics
Yeah.
in the Senate. Do you feel overwhelmed sometimes? I mean, you are there not alone. You have Murkomen, you have, Lesuda, you have Hassan Omar, and quite a few of you are there, Sang. How do you interact with the older members of the Senate? The Rengos, the Nyang Nyongos,
The Gigi Kariuki,
Gigi Kariukis.
who are there since 16.
Thank you. Like Chiji Kariuki was there during the Kenyatta government, and
From 63.
he's there until today. But I respect them like Chiji Kariuki as my father,
Yes.
and we are working very well. I don't feel that.
Do you get overwhelmed because of the experience and the command of bigger constituencies that they can whitewash you and disregard your opinions, and do you defer to them? That's what
For the first time, I see a difference in the leadership of this country. Though they are older than me,
Yes.
but we've been able to work very well. They've even come to my functions in the county, all the way from Nairobi, all the way from central Kenya to Uasin Gishu, to come to attend a function for the senator of Uasin Gishu County. To me, I see that as a respect. And that's why we respect each other. We work together. We are in the same committees. Every other time, they will say, we want to hear from the senator, and they would hear big things, and they say, really, this is leadership. So I don't have any challenge working with them. In fact, I'm learning so fast. And in the next few years, I'll be sharper more than them. I'll be sharp.
Tell us about 2007, 2008 post-election violence.
Yes.
It was Eldoret, and your county was a hotbed
Yeah.
of the clashes.
Yes.
Can you tell us about the settlement and the happiness or dishappiness and happiness of the Kikuyus who live there?
Yeah. Thank you, Mutegi. I think I don't want to speak much on those things because I think people learn their lesson. Today we are living very peacefully. We are living as a brother and a sister. In fact, this weekend we are fundraising for a number of churches that were destroyed during the post-election violence in Burnt Forest. We've said we must be one. We cannot afford again to see what we saw in 2007. Though myself, I was not in leadership at that time. I was young, but what I saw, I don't want to see again happening in this country. So we are one. People are now living happily like before, and we thank God that He has given us that chance and time to live again as brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, obviously being the youngest senator in the country and in that position, people would expect that you would have greater outreach outside just being Uasin Gishu senator.
Yeah.
You know, reach out to other younger people, inspire them, mobilize them. Why is that not happening?
Thank you, Makali. I think it's good you are asking that good question. Under the foundation, we have a number of programs. For example, on 24th, we'll be having a youth rally in Nandi County. All the youth from Nandi County will come to Kapsabet. We will proceed on 30th to Eldoret Town. From Eldoret Town, we are going to Baringo. So in the next few months, you'll be able to see, even through the media and other networks, you'll be able to see what we are doing.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I was in Eldama Ravine.
Yes.
And I talked to young people, and they saw some hope. What I say to them is this: it doesn't matter their backgrounds.
Yeah.
For example, you've had my history that I used to earn 200 shillings per day. That didn't put me to think that was the end of my life.
Yeah, but outside Rift Valley,
of course,
there's a lot of
we will go
Kisumu,
to all the counties in Kenya.
Homa Bay, yes.
We want the youth of this country to be one, and the message is one, that they can make it in leadership. Actually, Makali, if we want to change this country, and if we are serious, then the youth of this country must be involved. They form a bigger percentage, and they have the ideas. They have the ideas to transform this country only if they are given chance. All these things that are happening today are happening because we are not giving chance to the young people. They are energies, they have a lot of energies, they need to work. Okay. So if they cannot be given something to do, they divert their efforts and do something that at the end of the day, it harms all of us.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Senator Isaac Meli, for joining us this morning to discuss youth and leadership in this country. You've heard him, Senator for Uasin Gishu. Let's see what we have next Friday as we talk about youth in this country.